Lady, the problem isn't in my pants. Mex-Men.
Pissed, I think I bought that Captain Marvel statue, the one she's in the S.H.I.E.L.D. costume. I think I bought that. And no, I wish I didn't.
The S.H.I.E.L.D. costume?
Black and white.
Oh.
Why? Because you realize it was Captain Marvel and it's probably not going to appreciate it.
You watch your mouth.
No, because it was S.H.I.E.L.D. and S.H.I.E.L.D. sucks.
S.H.I.E.L.D. does kind of suck a little bit.
I thought you were going to defend it because Tony Stark.
He ran it into the ground. He was like the worst fucking executive of S.H.I.E.L.D. ever.
He's been bad at a lot of things.
Yeah, sure. But he's like a lovable fuck up, you know?
Yeah, just lovably commits genocide. Or tries.
No,
on
he
accident.
doesn't try.
He does it without even trying.
Exactly. He doesn't try. It just sort of happens. He's just so goddamn good at it.
That's your boy.
That's why you like him, huh?
It's talent. It's inherent talent.
Yeah.
Really.
Anybody who commits
So he
genocide
doesn't
that
even,
easily.
He'd even work
Do
for
you know
anybody.
how hard Hitler had to try? Name one genocide Tony Stark's committed that stuck. Exactly. They get undone.
By who, though?
He killed all the Tony
Himself,
Starks in the world.
usually?
He killed every single Tony Stark.
He killed every Tony Stark?
Yep.
That just sounds self-loathing.
Still did it.
Who is he, the one?
Yeah. He's the Highlander.
It's like
Jet
living
Li.
above it.
He knew there could only be one.
Every single Tony Stark he kills, he gets stronger. Dick gets bigger.
That's
His goatee becomes more ornate.
yeah. I mean, he's also really into banging his friends' ex-girlfriends.
Wait a minute. What if he has syphilis and the only way to get rid of the syphilis is to kill all your other selves? Like his dick gets a little healthier every time he kills one of his ultimate versions.
He's just going around. What if he's just going around fucking himself and spreading that syphilis, but it takes it away from him?
He's definitely been going around fucking himself.
Probably before he kills him. He's one of those murderers.
I don't know. What, didn't he get killed by Carol, in a sense?
In Civil War II?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't read that.
He got his ass beat by Carol.
Yeah, because she was an evil Nazi.
Yeah.
You mean because she's more
Yeah, I
I
powerful?
don't think she was, though.
No, she was definitely a jerk.
He did not see that ass whooping coming.
She kicked his ass in the new series, the new Captain Marvel.
She's always whooping his
It's
ass.
just rude. What is he doing? You know?
I think he was brushing his teeth. I think that's what he was doing.
Yeah. And she just shows up and kicks his ass for brushing his teeth?
Yeah.
It's rude.
He missed a spot.
So she punched the teeth out. It's unclean! Well, welcome to this issue of Mex-Men. I'm Tony.
I'm Justin.
I'm Devin. And Carol sounds like a name of a person who would be like really anal retentive about you missing a spot while cleaning.
Sound like you were Devin and Carol.
You Devin. I'm editing that so you just say I'm Devin and Carol. Today we're going to be covering all new X-Men issue 32 through 36, which is where the all new X-Men go to the Ultimate Universe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, last issue was. This issue, they realize it, I guess.
They're there.
Like, yeah. They're already there. Because they did the whole portal thing.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Thank you.
What, Spider-Man?
Are we covering last issue of this episode?
I mean, you know. Well, because it picks up with Angel in this one.
Yeah. So go listen to our last episode to know what's going on this episode.
Yeah.
That's normally how that works.
Yep.
I
'Cause
mean,
we're a
unless
series.
this is their first episode, and which could.
Listen to all our episodes.
Yeah.
This is your first one.
Just don't judge us. Judge us. Jesus.
Drudge us.
Don't judge us. By
Don't
the
judge
first
dread
one.
us.
Don't judge us.
Did you say drudge dread us?
Don't drudge dread us.
Oh,
Drudge dread.
this is such a stupid intro.
No, we're done with the intro. This is the content here.
Yeah, this is
Well,
the content.
well, real quick.
We already know I'm Devlin Oh my god.
Devilinsky.
Devin and Carol. Jesus.
It's your name. How can you not say it? Both of them. Your names.
He's having a hard time picking which one he wants.
You know,
Oh man.
they say it's a
Mush
journey.
So yeah. Angel shows up in the Savage Land. He's like, "What's this? Am I in the past?" And then for some reason,
He's not.
not Wolverine is like, "Nah." And the real question is, what are you? Which is weird. Like, what did he do to him? Like, there just can't be a guy with wings existing where dinosaurs are?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
eat
there
guys
can
with wings, so they tend to stay away from there.
Also, what's Jimmy Hudson doing in the Savage Land just randomly?
That's where he like hangs out. His buddies are there.
It also bugs me how quick later he shows up at the same place Angel does, and Angel has wings.
Angel always has wings.
Exactly.
He's a slow flyer.
But he's
Like a chicken.
He has a rope tied to his foot.
no.
Just dragging him.
Jimmy's like, "What are you supposed to be?" And he's like, this is weird. I'm gonna fly away." And Jimmy's like, "Angel, that's who you are, but you're not the angel who worked for my dad. Doesn't matter. I got your scent now." So he just smells him.
Well, no, they answer that in this. Of how he got there as fast as Angel did. Angel kept getting lost, but Jimmy Hudson, as soon as he like saw where he was headed, knew exactly where he was going.
Okay, but they go from the Savage Land, South Pole, to Canada.
Yeah.
Angel has wings. Jimmy Hudson's
He's
got
got
what?
He's got one of those
A bus pass.
And is if he's
he's got that Da Vinci flying vehicle that's just an umbrella that opens and closes.
that would make more sense. Like, I assume maybe he had like a plane or something, but then how is he smelling through the plane?
He took the plane. Maybe he knew where he was going like 3 feet into the jump. He was like, he jumped that way, definitely going to Canada.
You know what? Maybe he's got like the periscope Cyclops has, but for his nose.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. The smelloscope from Futurama.
Yeah, he's got a smelloscope. Oh man, comics are dumb.
Yep. Maybe he threatened Nightcrawler and got teleported there.
He Toucan Sammed it.
Followed his nose. Just-
Yeah.
We're spending way too
Really,
long
he's-
on the first page
Yeah.
of this.
Ends up at a hot dog stand.
He dug his way there with his claws. Went
So-
through the earth.
So anyway, I guess to add context, right? Because I did a poor job at that. That Gene showed up in the middle of just a busy street and flew up on top of a building, and then Miles showed up. And now we're finding out what happened to the rest of the X-Men. So yeah, Angel, he's in the Savage Land, and he's encounters Jimmy Hudson for some reason, because he just happens that's his favorite branch.
He's just hanging out there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tarzaning it up.
And Angel runs away from him, and then Beast ends up just under some water, and there are sharks, and then the sharks don't matter because he gets out of the water. Like they show
Doing the
sharks-
Who's Line intro.
where there are sharks and the sharks don't matter.
Welcome to underwater, where there are sharks and they don't matter. They definitely don't matter.
Well, yeah, because it shows those sharks like it's going to be a problem, and then they're nowhere to be seen after that.
That's a great point. 5 sharks for you.
Sharks
It's
don't
acceptable.
attack humans unless they think they're seals. They thought he was a monkey, not a seal.
That's factually correct. I'm going to go ahead and give you 10 sharks.
You can see now has a shark ever attacked a monkey? Email us and let us know.
You're just trying to get these extra shark points.
I live for sharks.
All right. Anyway, so
Shark Week here on Mex-Men.
Beast just shows up off the shore. Jeez, that really
You're having a
That's
hard
tough
time.
one.
shows up off the shore, and he's like cock blocking some dude who's about to like get down with some other lady, and he's like, "Hey, where am I?" And they're like, "We don't speak English," as they say it in some other language, and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm super smart, so by all of that, what you just said and how you said it, I'm going to go ahead and assume I'm in Turkey.
Fascinating.
Which he's a fucking turkey for being wrong.
A jive turkey. Also, going back to these sharks, re-looking at that panel, it kind of just looks like they're telling them where to go. And that's the point of the sharks. They're like,
hey, bud, up there. Like, you couldn't figure it out.
yeah, you're like, and they're like pointing, and he's like, all right, go.
The surface, got it.
Yeah, and then Laura just shows up on a football field, and then like a guy happens to have the ball and he's running, and then she flips him, and then the rest of the football players are like, "Hey, you with the claws, what the fuck's your problem? Why are you on a football field?" And also really angry she's a mutant because they really hate mutants in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Like, it's less fear and more just straight up hate.
Yeah, they even have the whole thing of like don't be out as a mutant.
Yeah, they accept like you could be a mutant, but like don't be all out.
Don't show your powers.
Yeah, they have the real like I don't hate mutants. I just don't want them in my neighborhood or dating my daughter.
Yeah.
But that was pretty dope. Hers was probably my favorite because she showed up and just like one arm through that dude, like big ass football player.
Yeah, and then the rest of the guys are like, we could probably take her. She's got metal claws and flip one guy, but
Yeah, but we got helmets.
CTE.
12 men armed with nothing but more than their helmets and CTE take on X-23.
XCTE.
Actually, no, Iceman's was pretty funny too because he shows up underground
Yeah.
with the mole man.
Sorry, I was just thinking of like Exhibit with CTE.
Oh my god.
Like he,
like doing the intro for Pimp My Ride.
yeah, like he grabs a shirt and is like, "You've officially been pimped," and then starts choking him. So if Chris Brown hosted Pimp My Ride,
Does he have CTE? I mean, I know the domestic.
would you be
abuse.
surprised?
Well, a little bit.
He's not dancing that hard.
Always dance on his head though.
Yeah, Iceman was like one of my like kind of my favorite chapter when they kept bouncing to him and all this because they sort of split the perspective of all the X-Men while they're in the Ultimate Universe, and it was always fun reading Iceman's. And then I don't know, I felt like a little boring reading Angel and X-23.
It's because
I actually liked X-23's.
angels in it.
Angels, yeah, that was a no from me.
No.
This is no from me, dog.
Yep. Pass.
You get no shark points.
What is that, Randy Jackson?
Yeah. He signed my sword. My samurai sword.
That's so fucking stupid. Yeah, that was cool. Him meeting the Mole Man and not knowing, like, hey, where am I? And then the Mole Man being all like, kill it.
Like, grab him.
Mutant scum.
Grab who? Me? You're grabbing me?
You gonna grab me? Come up to me and grab me?
And then we get a little more context with Jean and Miles, where he's like, hey, so what you doing just appearing out of nowhere, causing ruckuses in streets and whatnot? And she's like, I'm trying to figure out what and where I am. And he's like, oh, well, I'm Spider-Man. And she's like, I'm going to read your mind. And he's like, wait, don't do that. And then she reads his mind. And then she realizes, oh, this ain't my home. So now I'm really fucked. I'm in nowhere. I'm out of time and out of space, basically. Because they like to actually phrasing that, Bendis did.
Yeah, I feel like he's been watching a lot of Doctor Who at this point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Actually, no, I take that back because there's a lot of Bakula references in this to Quantum Leap.
Is there?
Yeah.
I've never seen Quantum Leap.
Well, there are.
Okay.
You get no shark points.
Last I checked, I was awarding the shark points.
When does it matter?
That's a good point. You know what? Shark points for you.
Yes!
Yeah.
It's a blank check of shark points, no amount. I'm a 10 million on the front of the shirt.
That's gonna bounce.
Sure. It's bounce.
So Miles decides he's gonna help Jean, and Jean is like, "Hey, oh no," he's like, "Oh, so you know my identity?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Ah, fuck," because she read his mind and stuff, which you'd think he would know, she would know his identity. Like, it's weird that he had to ask.
Well, he seemed pretty inexperienced with the whole telepathic stuff.
But he's already met the other Jean.
Kinda, yeah. Like,
Did she read his mind?
he doesn't know them very
They
well.
fought Galactus together. Because he was all like, "Hey, I know you. We fought Galactus together." She's like, "Don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "Big purple guy. You don't know Galactus?" And she's like, "Don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, but that's not a very long event, so they weren't around each other for very long. I think it's like 3 issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't like a giant crossover? Wasn't a big deal for the Ultimate Universe that Galactus shows up?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, some things happen, but I mean, Miles was only around for like a couple, like maybe 10 or 20 issues at that point.
Oh, I didn't realize it was so fresh into his existing. Like, because doesn't Bendis leave Marvel soon after this?
Yeah, I mean, Bendis does 3 volumes with Miles, but they're all like 20-something issues. So it's like Miles series in the Ultimate Universe, Miles series in the Ultimate Universe, and then Miles series in 616, and then Bendis is gone.
Oh, so he does do a series in 616. I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, he does one.
Okay. Oh, right, because he ties in the Riri stuff. Like, he has, like, this whole plan with them and Da Vinci and stuff, and then Marvel as a whole is just like, yeah, we ain't following that.
Yeah, they did the same thing because he also set up for Miles to become his own superhero instead of carrying on the
Spider-Man legacy?
Yeah, and his powers started changing to reflect that, and then they were like, nah, let's just keep him how he was.
I get that from, like, a marketing standpoint.
Makes more money out of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
But it's weird knowing that he's like running out of web fluid, but he's got like a solve for that. Like his like he's got a weird thing with his Venom shock where now it's like a tangible rope that comes out, but then Bendis left and they're like, oh, he's running out of web fluid now. Forget that he can do that other thing.
Yeah. Yeah, weird that he also uses web fluid. So anyway, Laura, she steals a motorcycle and being chased by the police for being a mutant, and then runs off of a bridge, falls onto a bus, onto a semi-truck, and that's what's happening with her. And Beast is like, well, no one here speaks Turkish apparently, or I can't speak Turkish apparently. Thought I did.
Yeah,
No one's listening to me.
I think it's both.
Yeah. So he's looking around, like he's asking anyone if they speak English, and
English motherfucker, do you speak it?
and they're like, "Are you a superhero, dude? What? You're an American superhero here? Oh, that's crazy. You're doomed. You're
Doomed!
Pretty much.
It's doomed." And he's like, "You guys are saying doom a whole lot." And turns out, Doombots, because Latveria. And he's like, "Oh,
They're damn bots.
It's not Turkey. It's Latveria."
Mm-hmm. This was the best part, actually.
Really? Him learning that it wasn't?
No, not that. The Doom information that we learned.
Yeah, I always forget that in the Ultimate Universe his name was Victor Van Dam.
Well, it's because he changed his name. It was John Claude.
Like the Jean-Claude? Yeah. Oh, that's right. So Spider-Man, he tells, because Jean doesn't know she's the only one in the...
She thinks she's the
well,
only one.
she doesn't know if she's the only one. And doesn't know that she has a way home. And Spider-Man's like, hey, I know how to get you home. And the last episode, we talked about this dimensional rift that existed that disappeared when the New Mutant emerged. And this is where that comes back into play, because Miles is trying to take her to where that rift is, and when they get there, it's gone, and Amadeus shows up, and he's like, yeah, it's gone, and the government shut everything down, and now my work's super behind, so if you don't mind, I gotta fucking cry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's all excited when Tony Stark bought his hole, and then it just, nothing ever came of it.
Because it disappeared.
Yeah.
Bought the hole, and it's gone. So, it's a poor investment
Yeah.
when you think about it.
when your holes disappear.
Yeah.
Think about it. It kind of sucks for Tony Stark. He bought the hole, couldn't even use it.
Hate it when that happens.
Oh, man. So anyway, Jane thinks she's stuck because no more hole in dimensions. Amadeus is like, with any luck, it'll take like 10, 15 years for me to fucking figure out
It's
how
super
to open another one.
Debbie Downer.
Yeah. Just rude.
He's like, yeah, get used to staying here because I'm going to go cry.
Yeah.
I'm like the 8th smartest person, and I can't figure it out. What are you going to do? Go to the other 7 people?
Well, who knows? Is he the 8th in the Ultimate Universe?
He's number 1 with holes.
He's number 1 with holes?
Yeah.
That was Shia LaBeouf.
I think that's still Tony Stark.
A fucking holes reference? Oh, man, that's great.
Timely reference.
Oh. Fucking holes.
Yeah, that's normally what you do with them.
Speaking of what you do with holes, so Iceman is attacked by all those mole people, and then decides, you know what? I'm gonna make a fucking ice wall that surrounds me with a big old hole at the top of it, and then there's no way the mole men are gonna climb up that and jump down it.
Yeah, dumb idea.
And then they do that. And then, do you want to go ahead and talk about what breadcrumbs Bendis dropped here?
He has Iceman say, I didn't think I had a limit for little yellow guys nibbling on me, but it seems I do.
And that's when he makes the ice cylinder that surrounds him. So yeah, Iceman
Definitively has a limit to how many little yellow guys.
but
can
also
nibble on him.
didn't know he did. He thought he'd like it more than he did.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe he had a thing for minions.
Probably.
And then he thinks, well, all right, I've seen my older selves do dope shit, so I'll do what they did, because I haven't even tried using my powers all the way, and he makes ice golems, and they start wrecking the mole man shit, because, you know, good guy, bad guy, that stuff. So Iceman uses the ice golems, or ice hulks, as he called them, to beat up the mole men minions, and then he busts out of the sewer, only to realize he's in a fucking hot-ass place.
He's in Arizona.
A lot of
He's in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
this is where it gets stupid. Because didn't we already see? This is after Amazing X-Men. He's like, oh, I can do the same thing that older me can do. I'll make ice hulks. But look, I can't make ice in 100-degree weather.
Yeah, he's
Because
frozen.
I'm fucking useless.
He's fucking frozen. He's Samuel
Whereas
Jackson.
old Iceman was over here freezing hell over. So
Yeah, well, that's older. He didn't see himself do that. He just saw the ice hulks.
he needs more self-belief. Man.
Well, what was he more excited in? He saw that the future him could make more dudes.
You know, what did ice do?
What did I say?
What did ice do?
So yeah, after he reemerges, a big old monster like emerges from the street, like the sewers, to attack him. And I liked that, you know, he had to fight this dude with his powers kind of running out.
Yeah. Well, in that panel where the monster's coming out, it's an homage to Fantastic Four #1.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because that was our first villain, right?
Yeah, that was their first villain, and on the cover of the first issue is basically just this, but with the Fantastic Four instead of Iceman.
So, at the same time, and this is what bugs me, that it's at the same time, Laura shows up at the Weapon X facility that, in the 616 universe, is their school, where Scott has everyone, because, you know, last place Wolverine would look thing. Except here, it only is the Weapon X facility. It's not, because it's not their universe. But they don't know that yet. And after she arrives, Angel arrives, and he's all like, hey, isn't it great that we're together and we see each other? Because remember, we did all that banging and whatnot. And she's like, don't hug me, which is weird.
Yeah. Hugs.
It's not weird. It was spot on, character-wise.
It's like...
Sex before hugs?
Yeah.
It's like, but you did so much mouth stuff, though. And she's like...
That was a mouth hug. Mouth hugs don't count.
The line at hugs.
She probably didn't, to be honest. She was probably like, you do the work. I'm just going to chill here. She's like, you finish or you done?
Ugh, that's so annoying. Can you imagine, like, the wings just in your face? Like, flapping.
Well, and I bet, too, like when you know how when a dog's happy, its tail wags?
Yeah.
Like, I bet his wings are, like, going fucking crazy.
Yeah, you think he squawks when he comes?
My skeleton isn't the only hollow bones I have.
You know what's interesting, though? Is I always kind of hated these suits.
Really?
Yeah. I felt like they were too, like...
Oh, yeah.
Power Ranger.
Future Power Ranger techie, sort of. Like, they were too sort of alien-seeming.
I remember you saying before you thought I had, like, too many lines to it. Like,
yeah. I do think that you have too many lines to it. But, like, imagine how, like, if you were in the Ultimate Universe and you were suddenly seeing these guys, and you're used, like, you've seen superheroes, but now you're seeing, like, they really do look like they're from another dimension with these suits. Like, they seem like there's some sort of alien, like, creature or something. So, like, in this one context, I was like, oh, the suits kind of work.
I actually like the suits. I like when more people wear them than just the 05. I like when Laura's in them. I think that's the only other person, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it.
No, because they got...
people are in it.
In Volume 2 of All New X-Men, they got... I can't remember her name, but the chick who does fire and ice, like she turns ice into fire
Heidi.
and fire into ice.
Yeah, but they change suits when they do that. They all have different costumes.
I think she has, maybe it's just in the annual, but she's got something like that.
Oh.
X-23 doesn't have a lot of costumes, so...
It's just that
Well,
Wolverine
sticking it.
one and then
The X-Force
Shield.
one.
I like the X-Force one.
Oh, yeah, I like that one, too.
It's pretty sweet. But anyway, she's not at all happy to see Angel.
Would you be?
It's making me think maybe he came too quick a
Yeah.
few times.
She still didn't
And like,
finish.
she just sort of, like, needed the ride home. So, like, he carried her. Like, that's why she dealt with him up to then. But, like, this wasn't that long ago. Because that was issue 31. They show back up. And the Uncanny X-Men leave for the will reading. And then they go to find this mutant. And then all get displaced in this dimension.
Maybe he shit on her car.
But...
He probably asked her... he asked her to shit on his chest.
Fucking bird.
That's what it was.
He is just a fucking bird. He can call himself Angel all he wants, but he's a bird.
Fucking bird. But, yeah, so she, both of them, like, they're wondering why they can't get in, because, like, there's some secret entrance that's supposed to be there, and it's not working. And Jimmy Hudson shows up, and he's all like, what are you two doing here? And they're like, who the fuck are you, and what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I followed my nose. Because that guy, turns out he's just a fucking bird.
A better bird.
It would have been funny, though, like, off-panel, like, he gets lost because he's just a fucking bird, so he gets getting, like, caught by the scent of other birds. Because Angel just has to fly into a flock of birds, and then suddenly, like, how do you know which one's the right one?
There's, like, no landmarks up there, too, so he's just flying in a circle.
He's got that, like, because it's how they work, but that magnetic direction that birds have. So he at least knows what north is, but he, like, just keeps getting lost.
Every time he flies, he just goes south.
That's how he knew. He's like, all right, it's summer now. Birds are flying
That's
north.
how you knew
He's going to Canada.
It's how he knew he was in the South Pole. Because how else would he know he's in the South Pole? Like, he says, like, I was in the South Pole with a bunch of dinosaurs, and Laura's like, yeah, the Savage Land? And he's like, you know about that place? Like, yeah, it's the Savage Land. Everyone knows about that place.
I just assumed that as soon as he got out of the Savage Land, he was like, there's fucking ice everywhere.
Yeah, but how do you fly from Antarctica to Canada in the same time it takes Iceman to go from a sewer to the street.
Because he's trying to climb up ice. Birds can flap their wings for like up to 6 days.
It doesn't make sense. And get there the same time Laura gets there, who, I mean, they don't, I assume it was in the U.S.
Also, he got lost, too.
Exactly. It took him even longer. And even with him getting lost, how does Jimmy Hudson know where he's going already? He doesn't. He's following him. So if Angel's getting lost, Jimmy Hudson following him doesn't know Angel's getting lost. He's following his fucking nose. So he has to inherently be following Angel wherever he goes. So Jimmy Hudson has to be just as lost as Angel is. So
You're looking way too into this.
Well, he even says, I saw you, like, you were getting lost, so I just went ahead of you.
He said, I knew where you were going.
How does he know where he's going?
Because birds fly north in the spring.
This is a question you need to ask Jimmy. You're asking us, we don't have the answers.
Jimmy has no answers either, because he sucks.
He does suck.
Maybe if you sweeten the deal with a couple of shark points.
He's a CW Wolverine.
I thought that was a Ken.
No. He's an HBO Wolverine.
Have you been reading some of his stuff lately?
Or he's a Showtime.
What do you mean some of his stuff? He doesn't have stuff. No.
He's in stuff.
Which
He's
one
in
had
a lot of stuff.
Stars. Stars had Spartacus. He's a Stars Wolverine.
That's bad.
Yeah. It's bloodshed and butt sex.
That is like his tagline.
Yeah.
That should be on his
Look
grave
for that
if you ever
shirt
die.
with just the Ken and bloodshed and butt sex.
That's
That's basically Spartacus, and so, yeah, it's Ken. Fucking. Yeah. Anyway, so Jimmy lets them into the Weapon X facility and is like, this is it. This is where man-made mutant. And they're like, the fuck he did. Or at least Angel is. And,
Yeah, because Laura's
like,
handmade mutant.
yeah, man made me. So.
I picture them being so petty because he's like, man didn't make mutant. Mutant just happened. And Jimmy's like, nope, man did it.
Yeah. And they're like, no, it's just, you're born this way. And you're like, no, man did it. We know it. It blew up Magneto's head when he found out. I mean, Cyclops blew up his head.
What's weird to me,
when he found out, but
what's weird to me, because I get, like, from our perspective, why it's the same mutants, but, like, nobody is like, I was a mutant here, and for some reason in another universe, that means I'm destined to be created into a mutant? That's weird.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on this, I guess.
They don't go into it much. Lots of weird, obviously, between universes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never even went into Miles going from the Ultimate Universe to 616 and, like, how different. Like, his mom went from being dead to alive, and they were just like, okay, his whole family and some of his friends are in his school are all in 616, but nobody talks about it.
Yeah, they just wanted to get rid of the Ultimate Universe.
But it's still around.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They don't want to care about it. They just wanted some key IP transferred from the Ultimate Universe to the primary. Because it's like how the rifts keep opening up with the House of M universe, and that's been gone. That's not supposed to exist anymore. But obviously, the remnants of it exist, so there's always that fight stuck in time in that dimension.
Well, what happened
it always ends in the same fashion.
What happened with Battleworld?
It sucked.
Well, because they went to House of M.
Well, Battleworld was every universe just stitched together to make one universe.
So then, yeah, that universe is still there.
Yeah, it's like a loop or something. You know, it ends at the same point. It's always meant to end, and reverts back into the 616 universe.
You know, Reed Richards might have fucked that up because they just went around creating universes and shit.
Oh, well, that's
He probably just wasn't paying attention to what he was doing.
So anyway, Beast, after he was caught by those Doombots, he wakes up in at a dining room, and like at a table, and
His ass is hurting real bad.
well, it turns out it was Ken who was his fucking host. No, it's Victor Van Dam. is there, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, so you're my guest here." And Beast's like, "The fuck I am," and immediately runs away, and then is attacked by Doombots and brought back in. And he's like, "No, eat the food I gave you because you're not going anywhere." And then some fun stuff with Genki happens.
Yep. Genki's the best.
Yeah. Miles shows up with Genki, and he's like, "Hey, man, so something I gotta tell you." Bam. Girl in the room. And he's like, "What? How was she here?" And he's like, "Well, she made you think she wasn't here by saying you don't see me."
She's John Cena.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what Genki said. Like, "You're my favorite wrestler, John Cena."
Yeah.
And then she thought she saw all the things he thought he ever wanted to do with John Cena, and she blushed.
He's like, I want to give him the FU. But that is something we forgot to mention when she pulled all the thoughts out of Miles, is him going like, "Hang on a second, I'm a teenage boy. I can't be blamed for what I'm thinking right now."
Yeah, that's a running joke that happens. It happens with Genki too, and he's like, "Yeah, I know, man," and she knows. She sees that stuff all the time, apparently. And then she's like, "Hey,
From Beast.
Yeah, Beast is screaming it at her.
Yeah. And she's like, "Hey, so I'm gonna take a shower." And this is right after Miles asks Genki if they could use his mom's car. And he's like, "Your mom's hasn't driven it in like 2 years, man. She's not gonna know it's missing."
I feel like every time Beast is around Jean, he's like thinking really hard at her, going like, "It's 10 inches. It's 10 inches. It's 10 inches."
Beast dick. Beast dick.
You know what'd be hilarious if she just shot into his brain a picture of Scott's? She's like, "It's 10 and a half."
He's the real Beast.
You know, Beast's like, "Have you seen my hands and feet?"
They dwarf my dick. You gotta understand, I can't even jerk it. I need smaller hands.
Why do you think I own so many tweezers?
So, yeah, Jean's like, "I'm gonna go take a shower," and then she reads Genki's mind, and she's like, "No, you can't come." And he's like, "That's not even fair. I thought that, like, so fast." It was, like, in and outside of my brain so quick, and I thought so many other nice things. And she's like, "I know, I was just joking.
Yeah.
And also, thank you for the card." He's like, "I didn't say you could use the card." She's like, "Yeah, but you thought it, and I'm a psychic."
Well, also she says, because he's like, "No, like, I'm sorry about thinking that." And she's like, "It's fine." He's like, "So I can shower with you."
Yeah. And she's like, "No." Well, no,
She doesn't answer.
No, she said, "I was just kidding." And he's like, "So I can shower with you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great. He's like, obviously he's good at writing Genki. I was gonna say like he's good at writing Genki, but he fucking created him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's
but that character's great. Like him using that character.
Ned Leeds.
Right. Oh man, do they just take that away from him?
I know, so bold how they're just like, oh yeah, it's your character. We're even gonna give him the thing where he really likes Lego, but we're not giving you the money for it.
And I mean, also his friend's Peter and not Miles. So
Yeah, but Peter in 616 is just a white Miles.
wouldn't Miles just be a black Peter?
No, because they're different personalities.
You just
That
said
didn't make sense.
616. That doesn't make sense. 616 Peter came before Miles.
No, in the MCU,
Oh, okay.
they make Peter just white Miles.
Yeah. He was definitely like, nerdier in his comics, right? When he was in high school. Like, wasn't he, like, fucking repressed? Like, wasn't he almost an incel?
No, not really.
I mean, heart of gold, but yeah.
They all think that.
I
But
think
also,
that's like part of the definition.
having also like the universe is more Ultimate Universe, because like Scorpion being like a cartel leader, like a Hispanic, fucking just tatted out version. That's what the MCU did too.
They kind of just made him Bane, huh? A little bit, just without the Venom thing. Ah, and he becomes Venom. He becomes Venom.
We're spinning in circles here.
I know. Anyway, so they want Genki's, I almost said Ned Leeds. They want Genki's mom's car so that they can get to Westchester because, of course, that's where the Xavier Institute is. And so Jean is hoping that there's a Cerebro there so she could, if her team is there, find them in this universe. Or at least the other mutant. And so when they take off and head in that direction, Miles says he's got to call somebody, which I assume is like what happens next is because of him making a phone call, but then acts surprised later when he sees them. So that was weird to me, because he does specifically like, this seems like it's pretty serious and I gotta make a phone call. And then they get in the car, they're driving, they have like a heart-to-heart between Miles, there's a heart-to-heart between Miles and Jean, and she talks about how she's failing as a leader, and how it's all her fault. I almost said fart. Because she because she led them to go find the girl that ported them there, and that she couldn't handle the situation in the first place. And so it's just tangentially, it's like it's all her fault because she was the one leading, and now it's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, he says he's emailing somebody, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just sending out pictures of his dick real quick.
In case I die, I gotta send these nudes.
He's just using that as an excuse. He's deleting his search history.
Right. I gotta email somebody.
We got a girl in here now, so...
He took a picture of Jean real fast to show proof that there's a girl in the room.
He's like, this is the Canadian girlfriend I talked about.
So they end up at Westchester, and they go to the mansion, and it's empty, and then it's suddenly not, because X-Men show up, and they're like,
Ex-ladies.
you're on my property. Well, there is one
Iceman.
guy. There's Iceman. It is mostly ex-ladies.
Yep.
Well, current ladies. They're like, you're on my lawn. And that's where the issue ends.
So like, we just got to grab a hat real quick.
Who's the dude with the dreads?
Dude with the dreads.
He's in the next issue. He doesn't in that first image where it shows all the X-Men showing up. He's not there, but then when they land, because they're like kind of coming in from the sky, there's a random white dude with dreads.
Real quick, issue 34. Why'd they even bother throwing Cyclops on the cover?
Just to sell it. They know he's the real ringer of this group.
Like, I remember, like, oh, Cyclops is back, and then, like, no, of course he's not.
It's just kind of a fuck you.
Yeah.
He's not even the ultimate version of Cyclops.
Well, no, that guy's dead. He got shot in the head.
Maybe he's the white head. Maybe he's the white dreaded guy now.
Is there a white dreaded guy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, there is a white dreaded guy.
It's Adam X.
Is it?
No, I don't know who that is.
Me either. I assume that's Mora, right? The fire chick? Or is that...
No,
the
Mora
other
is still standing there next to White Dreaded Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fire,
Oh, yeah, that's Mora.
Magma.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's the only one I don't know, because then obviously Rogue and Kitty. And I wasn't sure that it was Kitty at first, because I don't remember what she looked like in the Ultimate Universe.
That doesn't really look like Ultimate Kitty, because she's more like, she's like an emo kid, kind of.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was Psylocke or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, she sort of gave off a Psylocke vibe.
Yeah, she did. Her hair looked kind of purplish, too, in that first image.
Yeah, until they started having her speak. But yeah, so the X-Men show up, and they're like, hey, so what are you doing here? And Spider-Man's all like, X-Men? Oh, that's crazy. The X-Men. It's totally not like I just emailed you to say I was going to your mansion or nothing. Yeah, so we're here for Cerebro or whatever because she's from a different place. And
you know what it probably was? He, again, used it as an excuse, but like, he was like, oh, I totally know where the X-Men mansion is. Google, where the fuck is the X-Men mansion?
That's funny. So both Jeans read each other's minds, and they see each other's lives, and it overwhelms both of them, and they faint. And then back to Iceman.
Yeah, all this is happening, and Bobby is still fighting the Mole-Man.
Yeah. Well, just that one monster.
Yeah.
But I always like when a character is fighting some sort of monster or villain, and their powers are running out. Because it's it's like, oh, they really have to be resourceful now. They have to be a better version of themselves than they usually are.
Yeah, they can't just shoot ice everywhere to stop them.
Yeah. And also the art's really cool, showing how he's only partially iced to be able to get around. So he's like...
Yeah, they slowly transition to where like his hair's showing, and then He's just got like a little bits of ice.
And you see parts of his suit, which you don't normally see because he's usually covered in ice.
And, it's a good thing that monster had such a wet mouth.
Yeah, that was...
his insides are so moist.
That was another thing that this Bobby says.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Because that's what really stuck out to me, man. Where he's just like, thank you for your mouth being so moist.
Which, that's just a weird thing in general.
He didn't say mouth. You said...
Your
moist inside.
Thank you. Yeah, very moist insides.
That's even worse. So he defeats the monster, and he's like, all right, sweet. Monster's beaten, and the police show up, and they're like, Muty, freeze. And he's like, I wish I could. Trust me, it's fucking 114 degrees here. I can't use my powers. Also, didn't I just beat a monster for you? Like, we ain't copacetic? You have a problem with me?
Like, you guys need to chill.
It's a good thing you started wearing this uniform instead of just the nude and boots. Or else he'd be fucked right now.
Just have a sunburn on his dick.
Oh. Did not plan for this 100-degree weather.
Meanwhile, back at the Weapon X facility, it's still more of mutants are man-made. No, they're not. And it's like, yeah, they are. No, they're not. And then Laura like, I was a clone of Wolverine. And Jimmy being like, ew.
I'm his son.
I guess.
Ew.
Also, I think he watched my sister and brother bang.
Yeah.
Because isn't that the Ultimate Universe?
Yeah.
Gross.
Where he like smokes a cigar in the corner.
You know what? Jimmy Hudson's powers? Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid how he has bone claws that he could just decide they're going to be metal, and then they're metal. Dumb.
Yeah.
Just give him metal claws.
Because, like, when are you going to be like, it's boning time?
Quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Laura realizes that, they must be in a different universe. None of this is matching. It's not their world. And Angel's like, how the hell do you know that? And she's like, because I'm smarter than you. This isn't our universe.
She's like, I smelled it.
The air's been off here ever since we got here. And I remember this place distinctively having triages farts all over the place. And now, no triage farts. Also, it's obviously not school anymore, so...
There's a fucking stretcher in the middle of the floor. Maybe Scott keeps it around for something.
So, back in Latveria, Beast is eating food with Doom, and Doom's like, hey, so, tell me more about your world, and Beast is just telling him, and because truth serum, it's in the food, and also other chemicals allowing Doom to just sort of control Beast now. And he's basically telling, Von Damme, everything.
Van Damme.
Yeah,
Von Damme.
Right. Fucking Victor Von Doom, Victor Van Damme. Jesus. I mixed them.
They're very
Van
distinct.
Damme.
Jesus Van Damme. Yo, them abs was ripped though.
I'm just trying to get like those on the cross abs.
He does. He also. Christ Van Damme is also on the cross. He's upside down doing the splits.
I was picturing more his feet are tied up to the top and he's doing sit-ups.
So yeah, Beast tells him all about like how they're from a different universe and how they're time displaced and all that. And then he starts sharing how Jean doesn't love him even though he's like she can read his mind and he loves her so much.
I keep on telling her it's 10 inches and she just doesn't care.
I think you showed me Scott's dick once. And how would she even know?
Because Scott's always thinking like it's a little bit bigger than Beast's. It's a little bit bigger than Beast's.
They have those community showers.
Yeah.
Scott's worried.
She had those.
Scott's worried because he's like, why is my dick yellow?
Get your Morrison shit out of here.
Forgot to bring up too, when Beast woke up in Victor Van Damme's place, he was like, "Oh, Gene." He's like, he's dreaming and saying that shit.
He's like, "Did you just come in my chair?"
So Beast decides he's not gonna help him because Van Damme is all like, "You're gonna serve me and help me with all my research and evil fucking science."
It's like, "Listen, buddy, I'm a big fan of Time Cop, but I can't help you."
Yeah, so Beast is like, "Well, you gave me a truth serum, so you know when I say I'll die before I help you, that I mean it." And he's like, "Yeah, but like I'm also chemically controlling you in other ways, so like you have no choice. Like you're gonna do whatever I say because science." Also, isn't that like the most fucked up roofie?
Yeah.
Like you're roofied and conscious.
Yeah.
Should be Van Cosby, really.
You're going to tell me where the pudding pops out.
You keep saying this Gene in your sleep. You see hiding?
I just gave you a little bit of the Spanish fly.
Oh, man. So, Iceman's riding with the cops.
The racists.
And it turns out they're super racist.
Oh, no! Cops?
And this cop is like, "How are you just going to be all mutant outside in your muty ways?" And he's like, "Does me stopping a monster not mean anything? Like, was I supposed to just let a monster destroy the city?" And he's like, "You ain't police. We're police. We handle it. You cause damage too."
You want to see somebody beat a monster? Watch me touch my dick.
And he's like, "It's a solid 4. That is also that, like, looking at that face of the officer, like, that's the face of a man who believes, like, 4 inches is, like, a monster.
His girlfriend lied to him.
Yeah.
But Bobby's probably like, "Man, I've made ice dicks bigger than that."
Literally.
So, because he's saying "you people" a lot, and Bobby's like, "Huh, you people." So like he's catching on, like, all right, so this guy's practically racist, and Bobby makes a comment about how like he's a guy who thinks poorly of mutants. He's like, "Well, you definitely, obviously, you're a guy who is on the side, like maybe if not poorly, like almost there." And then the officer's like, "No, I think poorly of you. Like
Yeah. I'm racist.
I dislike you guys actively. Like, why do you gotta go and be all muty all the time?" And like, Bobby's like, "You know what? That's great to know. And also, this air conditioning, it's pretty great." And then he
That was dope. That was really
ices
dope.
out.
I like the art there.
Frozones them.
Yeah.
Because like the whole panel's kind of bluish.
And then Jean wakes up inside of Cerebro, and she's like, "How did I get here?" And the other Jean's like,
What's up?
I picked you up and put you there,
yeah.
changed your clothes, washed you up.
I mean, wearing the same clothes. But, so
Changed them back. The same clothes. I took your clothes off, and then I washed them for you, and then put them back on.
I mean, I figured it was fine because, I mean, it's me.
Yeah, they're my boobs.
They're my boobs. Speaking of my boobs, I want to press my boobs against my boobs, if you don't mind. And then they hug.
She's like, "What are you, a psychic?"
Yeah, because self-love. They sort of, shared trauma of like, "Oh, man, my past has been so bad." And like, "No, my past has been so bad." And it's like, can we just comfort each other? And then like they do. So,
Speaking of the Gene self-love, there has to be like some type of thing in Jimmy Hudson's head where he's like looking at Laura like, technically we're not related, but it'd be pretty weird if we fucked, right?
it's like, because are you my dad or my mom?
Like, kind of, you're my dad. But also, we're not related.
Yeah.
But they kind of are.
Yeah.
I imagine that's how Kim sees Caitlyn.
I don't know who you're talking about.
The
Kim
Kardashian.
Kardashian.
Wow.
Caitlyn.
He's
yeah.
on first name basis with the Kardashians.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys were so close.
So close.
Like 4 inches apart.
It used to be closer, but there's a surgery.
So, anyway, Miles is hanging out with Dred's guy and then the ex-ladies.
Sounds like a post-hardcore
It's
band.
Judge Dredd. Which he's got no dreads anymore.
No, yeah, he does. It's all on one side. It's sort of hanging out
Oh,
on
yeah,
one
yeah,
side.
you're right.
And Jean and Jean together use Cerebro to find the other X-Men.
Pair of jeans.
It is a pair of jeans.
That's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
Somebody had to say it.
Never even crossed my mind.
Mine either.
Hey, I know you've been sitting there like, nobody's saying it. What is wrong with them?
I'm surprised it didn't pop in my head sooner.
But she uses Cerebro and then is surprised, and then that's the end of the issue because cliffhanger, you know? And then they do that great thing in the next issue where they start it with what happens later in the future, so it's a big old fight at Van Damme's. And they're fighting Doombots and whatnot. And Miles calls Rogue Rock because he barely knows her. And she's like, it's not Rock, it's Rogue. And he's like, huh, go figure.
She's like, so embarrassing for you, huh?
It's like, I guess.
I can kill you with a touch. And he's like, Venom Blast.
Yeah.
On the same page there.
And then Angel's all like, nice one, Iceman. Well, makes sense because you're not my Iceman.
Yeah, he's
So it's like- it's
everybody
like a
hates
weird-
that version of Bobby the most.
Yeah. Like, well, just everyone kind of hates their version of Bobby. Whoever.
They don't
No,
hate
but
him. They're like
even-
annoyed by him.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Universe, they seem to hate young 616 Bobby more.
Really?
Yeah, they
I
seem
just
like
thought that the Ultimate Universe Bobby didn't like 616 Bobby.
that too, but they're annoyed with both of the Bobbies, but it seems like they're more annoyed with the other.
With the
They're
younger
not
Bobby.
their Bobby.
Which that's what happens in 616 as well.
We keep saying Bobby, and it's just making me think of like Bobby Hill
Bobby,
with like ice.
damn
cars.
it, Bobby!
That's exactly how Kitty says it.
I think that's another shirt that we.
Just Bobby Hill, and he's saying like, "I love that your insides are moist."
Oh my.
So yeah, Jean, like B sees Jean, and she's all like, "Not that Jean." Get Doom, and then
He's like, there's two jeans now?
You mean I can have a pair of jeans?
He's like, there's only one time I've been more excited about something like this, and that's when there was 3 me's.
He really was excited
Yeah.
about there being 3 M's. It's like, it's masturbation and a threesome.
They definitely
It's
circle
crazy.
jerked.
It's like the human centipede, but with dicks.
Or they just all Dutch ruddered. That's a reference to a movie that